I would like to open the Thursday, September 22nd, 2022 meeting of the Bellingham Planning Board. First item on the agenda this evening is an A&R on 67 Chestnut Street.
That's actually the applicant's address. It's Grand Way.
Okay, if you want to, I'm sorry. However, A&R is for Grandway, which is definitive subdivision from 2014 to 15.
That's correct.
If you want to come up, floor is yours, gentlemen. If you could just sit in the front so the public can see you and hear you. Want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Bruce Wilson. I'm a principal with DW Site Solutions. Before you is a modification to a previously approved plan there. We're going to bump a couple of the lot lines around a little bit
Yep,
on the middle lot. Lots have the adequate frontage area and build factor.
okay.
That better? Yeah, I silenced it. We're getting to be computer geeks between the two of us here.
Okay,
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. The middle lot is having two little parcels cut out of it and added to the lot to the north and to the south here.
is that lot 2A?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, you can see the lots are all oversized to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to create a little bit more room for the lot to the north, and then Brian's daughter owns the lot that has the house on it now, so she was looking to get a little bit more buffer between her and the proposed house on
And
it.
that would be lot 1A?
Correct.
Okay. So in essence, we're going from just increasing the size of one lot, decreasing the size of two lots. We're not creating a fourth lot, is
No,
that correct?
it was three lots. The original subdivision plan is here. If anybody would like to see it, I'll pass it around. You can see. And then if you look on the registry drawing, the lines are actually showing up as dash lines, but here's the.
Anything else you want to articulate about this?
It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, I think it is as well.
Yep.
I just don't want to preclude you from saying anything else. It seems very straightforward.
Yeah.
I'll start on my left. Dennis?
Good. Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, I guess this question's more for Jim. Is Jim on?
He's not.
No, Jim is not on.
It's a conflict this evening.
Okay.
He did give me a call this afternoon. He said the A&R plan is fine as long as there's not a creation of a new lot. It's just the existing lot lines which are being changed. So he did call to make sure that the board knew that. If there was an additional lot created, then he would recommend to not endorse the plan.
Okay, and they're all, are they all single family?
Yep.
According to the original, and they're gonna stay single family?
Yep.
No dual, no-
If you take a look, you'll see that was the original plan that was approved. There were three lots, and the basic shapes of each of the lots are very similar. It's just a little bit of was taken from the middle lot to add to each of the others.
Okay, so they're gonna stay as single family then?
Yep.
Okay, that's my own question I had.
I would entertain a motion.
To endorse the A&R plan for Grand
Yes, and technically, what do we want? Is it going to be Grand Way?
Way.
Yeah.
Is to endorse the A&R plan for Grand Way.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to endorse it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion on the floor. We have a second to endorse the A&R for Grand Way. Motion is again made and seconded. Any further discussion? We have to go individually from now on.
Would you? Okay.
Sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous passing. We will sign these in a minute. We have 4 copies to sign. Let's make sure we sign all 4 copies.
Do we have to do all votes individually now?
I'm sorry?
We do all.
Yes.
They do the roll call because it's on Zoom.
Oh.
Bruce, do you mind putting the Mylar pen back
I know,
there?
I.
And that way we can have the board members sign it.
I was just saying,
That would be great.
Just a force to have it.
And your pockets too.
Do you want to sign it after the meeting? Or
No, we can,
now, or what would you?
do you need it signed this evening?
I can pick it up in the morning.
Let's sign it this evening. Prevent you from coming down.
Doesn't matter, whatever works for you guys.
I want to make it as easy for you as possible. Why don't we, Dennis, you want to start? Sign 4 copies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
I know, I'm not a real member, I'm just here for the
Yep.
entertainment, that's all.
No, I don't. Anything on the conclusion. Yeah, so I don't think it's here.
I think he's actually toying with me.
Let's just try it in here. I don't think it is, though.
I'm on to you, Bill.
What?
I said, I think he's actually toying with me. I'm on to you,
Okay.
Bill. My turn?
No, I said. Same, man.
Yes, that would be great.
You need another one? You all set?
Brian. So Bruce, everything's recorded.
Yeah, I'll scan that and then you want, I can just pop it in the email for you.
That would be great.
Okay.
Thank you. Brian.
Thank you very much.
I want. Did you intentionally buy the hat?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't actually buy this. This was given to me. So
That's some sort of.
a trend going on. Yeah. Is it working? Is everybody taking me more seriously or no? No, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Do you want me to just hold the monitor in front of me the whole night? Either that or I'll put the chair all the way down so you can only see like this.
Does it control the everything?
If I was outside, just
On the ladder, looking in the window. Put your hands up like this.
Yeah. Exactly. Take time you do that. Yeah. Any comments from Ron? Open the window. Nothing for me. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Hey, just FYI, there's a flu clinic coming October 14th.
Yep.
On a Wednesday, if any of you are interested.
Okay,
Michelle will get you signed up.
okay. Bruce, thank you very much. Let's see. Next on the agenda is the Bellingham Shores Certificate of Loss Release. This request is for the Phase 1 lot release of 34 lots. The project currently is in good standing with both the building and DPW departments. They have requested a Form G release of lots upon the submission of a bond. And that bond, I believe, in this amount of $707,000. Anything you need to add to this, sir? You want to introduce yourself?
Sure, my name's Chad Boardman, represent Fargon LLC, which is more or less Eastland Partners. I haven't seen you in a couple months, but we've been very busy out there.
It looks nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that monstrous detention pond is actually fully built, and actually, I think they were mowing it the other day, so it's massive.
How big is it?
Oh, God.
How
it's
many
like a
football
couple
fields?
acres, I think it is.
Whoa.
It's monstrous. I've never seen a detention pond that big. but
Okay,
It's built right, and we actually flew a drone image, or I'll probably maybe share the next time there of the site, and it's massive.
you flew a drone inside the,
Yeah, no, we fly a drone to actually survey our properties and quantity, do quantity takeoffs on materials and things like that.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're kind of in the 21st century.
Okay.
So.
Is the road paved all the way down to the detention pond?
Yeah, all the way to the detention bit pond. That's correct.
I
Yeah.
didn't know if it was paved all the way.
No, we did a turnaround for the fire apparatus as well.
Okay.
That's a common thing that the fire departments like these days. So we also did that as well.
so things are going well.
Absolutely very well. Hopefully to go on market probably two to 3 weeks, I think.
Great.
And yeah, I'm gonna try to beautify along Route 126
Okay.
with trees and try to get the growing season looking well.
Okay,
Do a wall, a nice,
Entrance,
entrance feature
yep.
and things like that. We'll probably come into here, maybe in another month or two of, the mailbox, people like to designate where the kiosk goes, and they don't want 103 mailboxes anymore, so.
Nope.
We've got a couple of good spots for the turn and stuff, we'll bring it in front of here. Or
That's fine.
CC all the DPW as well.
no problem.
But no, I'm glad you have the correspondence, and I do have Steve O'Connell from Turning Point. If there was any other questions, of course, I came in person to see if there was,
Okay,
give you a quick update, and I'm glad to hear that you have the amount. And,
yeah, we do.
yeah. So that's
Just to be
great.
very transparent, okay? I have to do this every meeting.
Yeah.
Stephen O'Connell and I are not related in any manner at all.
That's correct, yeah.
All right, just want to be transparent. Anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so. Other than that, my progress out there is, we're here in front of you for quite a few lots, but I've built all the infrastructure to support them. But I've talked, as I said to you and to the building commissioner as well, I'll be building this in per phase and one after another. I'm not going to be hotspotching around, and I already told Tim, you can
Okay,
show
so
up the
it's
permits at the
continuous
next
flow.
phase. I'm
Okay.
releasing all the permits, but I'm doing one after another, boom, 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 not jumping around.
Do you think you're a little bit ahead of schedule?
I think so.
Good.
I think I am. Yeah. Yeah, I lost some time out of that horror show of having all the engineering plans kind of wrong when we
Yep.
bought the parcel, but I think we're over that. And,
Well-
everything looks pretty good.
You're easy to work with, and we're thrilled to be working together.
Yeah, no, all the town boards have been absolutely wonderful so
Well,
far. And,
That's great to hear.
open communication with conservation as well, and everything's been great so far.
Great.
honestly. So,
Does anyone have any questions?
Nope.
I would entertain a motion to approve the
Release of. the
Form
phase.
G release for the lots,
Yes.
first 34 lots. And that will be supported by a bond to be established the amount of $707,000.
And that those will not be released until the bond is provided.
Correct.
Yes.
So is that the motion?
Yep.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor. It has been seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. That motion passes unanimously.
Great, thank you all.
All right.
It's Nice to see you. And
We'll see you in a while,
I'll
sir.
come in a couple months to check back in. with
Okay.
you guys.
All right,
Best of
thank you
luck.
very
Can we
much.
Submit this tomorrow to the town clerk to be notarized.
Yeah,
Once we
that'd
get
be
the bond,
fantastic,
we'll
because
keep
that
it
starts
moving.
the trigger for the bonding.
Yes.
So, excellent.
Don't be surprised if you may see one of us driving down.
Okay, great. All right, take care, guys. Thank you.
I'm having
Thank you.
signed two, just one for the town clerk and one for us.
That's fine. while we're signing that, we have some proposed warrant articles that were sent to the town council and applicable departments. Have we received any comments yet?
No comments.
Okay. Rob, you want to talk about the warrant articles that you've drafted?
Well, I know we discussed them last week, or not last week, last meeting. I don't know if there's necessarily anything to add, unless anyone else has any questions, comments, concerns. I know one thing I did want to bring up was the stormwater management article regarding underground infiltration chambers. I mean, it's gonna be good to get comments from the different staff. I don't sign this, right?
No.
No.
That's okay.
Where was I? It'll be good to get comments from different town staff, but that one might. I know Jim brought up some concerns about maybe it being a little bit too restrictive, so there might be ways to kind of, maybe it's only a viable option in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District, or maybe we can only apply it to Luppels, but either way, I'd love to hear from other town staff or boards or.
And Amy, correct me if I'm wrong. This is for the spring town meeting.
These what we're looking at right now, the drive-through and the stormwater are regulations.
Yes.
So those we can do outside of the town meeting.
Okay, great.
It's-
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
But if we're gonna make it be, if we want to talk with, I know Don DiMartino was gonna be looking at the stormwater. I guess there's some more one regulations coming down. So I think it would be beneficial to have him be at one of the meetings so that we're aligned with what new requirements might be coming down the line. So
So
it might
these
be
are,
best
these,
to wait on these until the spring.
That's
So that we
fine.
can vet them, like Rob said.
Yeah.
so they're in the, moving forward on the agenda item, not to confuse people,
Mhm,
can we just remove the warrant caption
mhm.
and call it, what's the appropriate term?
Right now, these are regulations. I think what we'll do is talk to Jim and see how the town wants to proceed with these, if it would be a bylaw change.
Okay.
For the stormwater, or I know the drive-through, we could put that probably within our
Okay.
regulations, rules and regulations.
Can you make sure the bylaw committee gets a copy of these?
Mhm.
I think if that's the case, I think the section that I had for, maybe I had these both as subdivision rules and regs for the sections.
Mhm.
I must have. I take it back. All right.
But it would be nice to run parallel with the DPW. That way we're both on the same page.
Oh,
So I
absolutely.
think exactly what you said we need to do.
Are there any other boards that might, well, if it's a regulation change, it's a regulation change. There's really no input from other boards, right? Or should we? That,
We can send it out to everybody.
Yeah, I
if
think
you
we
want.
should.
I mean, I would be happy, you know, if, I know for bylaw changes, if it's going to a town meeting, usually you present it to the different boards, so
Mhm.
be more than happy to do that for this.
More people that see it for that.
I agree, absolutely. So,
And the more eyes will look at this, the better.
yeah. no,
And you'll be
I
very
agree.
transparent.
Absolutely. So, okay, yeah, no, that's good news then.
What's also included, Mr. Chairman, is the current
Yeah.
warrant articles. And the Board of Selectmen will be hearing this, I believe, at their next meeting.
Are we gonna have any presentations to us on these?
Not that I'm aware of at this point, no.
Okay,
I saw something in here that had planning board on it, Mullen Law, Article 9.
oh, hold on. The Mullins rule,
Oh, yeah. That's in everybody.
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah, everybody should be in favor of that.
Rob, can I ask you a question about stacking before we
Of
run away
course.
from it?
Yeah.
The bank is pretty straightforward. I imagine stacking's from your ATM or whatever. Now, fast food, is that from when you pick up the food out the window, or is that when you order the food? where the stacking begins?
So the way this is written, it would most likely be from the window. Usually that's the order window. If we wanted to make this more restrictive, we could do from an order board. Because
It would be less stacking spaces from the order board.
if we did 12, if we did required 12 stacking spaces from the order board, we're gonna have, there's gonna be more required stacking because, like, for example, Dunkin' Donuts, their corporate standard, I believe, is to have the menu board on the 4th car. Might be the 5th car now, actually, like in line. So basically you'd have 4 cars from the drive-through window to the menu board where you order. So if we said, oh, 12 spaces from the order board, you have to add 6 or 4, I mean, spaces on top of that to get to the pickup window. So it would be 16 spaces. I would leave it from the, like, 12 spaces is a lot of stacking, so I'd probably leave it from the order.
So does
window.
that go without saying, or does that need to be specified?
We can specify 12 spaces from the order window.
Now, just to let you know, the reason this was generated is we've seen some areas in town where we need to have regulations. Mostly dealing with, a coffee company.
I can name it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, is that gonna be tough to enforce with a design? Because every building is kind of designed differently to add them spaces. You may end up have some gray area leeway in that.
Well, I think first of all, let me not interrupt you. Prior drive-throughs
Yeah.
are grandfathers. Would that be an assumption?
Well, yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, a grandfathered use, like if they were to, renovate their building
Or tear it down?
or, well, if they teared it down, it might be a
Yeah,
little
that's a
different,
little
but if
different.
they were renovating it, if they were adding curbing or, realigning their drive-through, that would most
Trigger it.
likely, well, I think it would trigger it. I mean, if they were just renovating the business or doing a facelift, no, probably not, because it wouldn't trip an application from planning board, I don't think.
I think one of the fast food establishments on Hartford Avenue by Market Basket change their parking lot, change the width of the drive-throughs. And I think that potentially could have triggered it.
Yeah, because, well, one issue that I could see happening is I know now a lot of companies are going with this tandem
Yeah.
drive-through configuration, which there are so many corporate standards when you design those. I know when I worked for a company in Watertown, I did a couple tandem McDonald's drive-throughs, and I think it was just McDonald's, but they had the alignment, the configuration it's crazy what they want. I
Mhm.
mean, they specify right down to the width of your pavement
That's what
markings
I'm
and the
saying,
actual
exactly.
symbol that you paint on each lane. Now, if we said fast food use is 12 spaces, basically what I would think is if that application came in front of us and they said, we have currently, 6 stacking spaces, we're gonna have a tandem drive-through for a total of 10 stacking spaces when we're done,
Mhm,
that would not meet our requirements.
correct.
That's the way I look at it. So when it's typical engineering practice that whenever you're doing any type of drive-through configuration, unless somebody isn't being very detail oriented, you always show the number of, or you number the vehicles from the order window, the menu board, and then the last stacking space. That's
Okay.
kind of that's standard.
There's an art to it.
There is an art to it. Yeah, I wouldn't call it an art.
Yeah, I know.
but-
I'm just saying, because I built a few, but So really, what we need to do is they come into town to build one of these, or anybody doing one of these now, have to get our regulations and redesign it to match our bylaws.
Correct.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's
and-
what I'm
We,
saying.
we don't match theirs.
No, that's what I'm saying, but they all have a set one already done,
Correct.
you know,
Yeah.
so.
However,
yeah,
I think
they're
the
gonna have to
caveat
redesign
being,
it.
if theirs are more restrictive than ours, we would look at it. But I think ours is gonna be pretty
Tight.
Yeah, because
fair.
Okay,
the way I look at it now is if some company were to come in, they want to redesign, if they have an existing site, or if they want to build a new one, if they were to come in right now and they presented a awful drive-through configuration, I mean, technically, it's allowed through the
Mhm.
regulations, as long as there's no public safety concerns. So I know typically for minimum stacking spaces for fast food uses, you see between 10 and 14 spaces as a requirement.
Okay.
I did 12 because 14 is kind of excessive, I
Okay.
think. That's just my experience in different communities. There's also like, there are some communities that have some really, really specific regulations regarding entrance to drive-throughs need to be a certain distance from your entrance curb cut on a public way, which really just throws a wrench into a lot of designs. I don't think that we really need to do that because I think that we're a pretty knowledgeable board and we understand.
I'm
if
just
there's-
saying the variance on the lot size dictates a lot of it.
Agreed, absolutely. So,
And again, for the public, we're just being proactive. This is not into any response or application we have right now with the pipeline.
yes, exactly. It's more just if something were to come in front of us, you know, we now have some regulations. Because
Okay.
to your point, Dennis, you know, I think existing uses are grandfathered. They're
Mhm.
pretty much, they're protected, I would say, from these regulations. But let's say somebody were to come in with a smaller, you know, they come in, new application, small lot, they can't meet these requirements. Well, I think the issue that I know I've kind of noticed in our meetings is that because there's certain aspects of our bylaws that are kind of lax, people are really trying to exert as much as they can on these sites. And a lot of times that's where abutters say, hey, hold on, this is a little bit obtrusive to
Mhm.
me. This is going to allow if McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, whoever wants to come in and they want to just stick a pretty decent sized building on a small lot and the drive-through isn't really going to work. Now we actually can hold them to a standard in town. So that lot that they technically could put something on, it's not gonna work in Bellingham.
And we're not gonna have traffic dumping on the. I know what
Exactly.
you're saying.
Yeah.
That's the intent.
Exact, that's kind of the attempt. We're trying to get away from the safety reasons and
Exactly.
backing up all over our public roads.
Absolutely. And like right now, you know, if somebody want to put a drive-through in that is right near somebody's driveway, they could do that with no screening.
Yeah, no
So, yeah, well, there are areas in town that have really weird drive-through configurations, so. It's just a way to, you know, it's not to hinder development, it's just to make sure that smart development and good development is
Right.
what's happening in Bellingham, so.
For the public and for people here at the board, if you notice 30 Locust Street, it was on the agenda for this evening. They've asked to come back at the first meeting in October. So that's why we're not skipping over it. They've asked to reschedule. So we all had a chance to review the minutes from our last meeting. I want to thank the clerk for the great job in the minutes. Any questions? Peter, nice job, by the way. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor of approving the minutes as written, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there anything else that needs to come to the board? Right. Floor's yours. We'll have to be adjourned first.
Oh, is that what you asking me?
I know, you jump out.
All right, well, I moved to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye.
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 Good night, Bellingham.
It's on the